can. We want to help immigrants and refugees feel welcome. We want to help LGBTQ people have a place in society. We want women to have equal status.
That man on the stage who took the place of a woman is TikToker Jeffrey Marsh, who really likes to tell children to cut off from their parents and pay attention to him. He was giving a TED Talk. Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel, my freedom-loving friend. This is where we call out lies, hypocrisy, corruption, and help spread the light of truth and freedom, because truth conquers. Now, here's the truth. When I see creepiness, I like to call it out. Now, some would say, hey, this guy's super trans, and he used to be queer. Now he's trans, he's evolved. You can't say he's creepy. He's part of a protected class. And I say, no, that's BS. Creepiness is being observed, whether it's creepiness in a heterosexual red-haired male or someone who's trans. I will call creepiness out. Now, I don't know if there's been anyone on the internet who's been called out for being a creep towards children more than this guy, Jeffrey Marsh, who shockingly has given a TEDx talk, very intellectual platform I have a lot of respect for, even though I did a TEDx talk back in the day. But nonetheless, before we take a look or two at the riveting TEDx talk, let's understand who we're dealing with. And here he is in a video talking about no contact with parents geared towards children, and promoting the idea that kids cutting off their parents because they don't understand them is a good thing. This is part of grooming behavior, and I'll show you a video of the grooming behavior outlined, doing all the tactics at the end of this. It'll shock you, but first, here's who we're dealing with.
So you're going no contact. You're considering going no contact. You're 25% of the way toward an open door on the subject of no contact, and you're feeling guilty.
So far, I feel like this is an audition tape for the Joker movie.
So one of the things I needed to get over, I'm no contact with my family. All of them. Siblings, parents.
If everyone in your life is a problem, you are the problem.
Cousins, everybody.
No, literally everybody in his life is a problem. So you might want to take advice from him, which you can. He's got a coaching service. I'll tell you about that in a second.
And the thing I wanted to point out to you today in this video about going no contact is I didn't consider my own feelings. As painful as it is, the pain of being a person who goes no contact is nothing compared to the daily pain you've been in from being in relationship with these folks. I love you. Have a good time going no contact.
It feels warm and fuzzy to me, probably you as well. Now, this person's been called out for grooming behavior, which I mentioned at the end of this. I'll show you. He's doing it all by the book, step by step. His content is geared towards children. He speaks specifically to children. So no contact, what that means, in other words, is I'm going to encourage you to cut yourself off from the people that protect you. You're going to need someone because you're a human. Oh, here I am. Will you protect me? What I want to do is definitely for your protection. Now, before we take a look at the riveting TEDx clips, you're probably thinking, I don't know about you, JP, you've seen this all wrong. I would like life advice from this person. Is there any way I can get coaching from him? Yes, there is.
Of course I coach one-on-one with clients. I'm a coach. I'm a good coach. Would you like to know why? I see into your soul. I've survived 25 years of Zen study so far. But here's the thing. You see a video like this and you think, I couldn't work with Jeffrey. That's not for me. That's not me. Why do you talk about yourself like that? Link's in the bio. You might as well click it.
I like that. I couldn't work with Jeffrey. And as any good manipulator would do, he tries to frame it as, you're wrong for thinking that you wouldn't work with me. Why do you think about yourself like that? Why are you so horrible with yourself to think you wouldn't want to work with me, well, I don't know. I'm probably not going to sign up. But the good news is you can get coaching from him on TikTok, and you can get coaching from him on the TEDx stage. I just became aware of this TEDx talk. I've been covering this guy in multiple videos because unfortunately he just keeps going. But nonetheless, I just heard about this TED talk. I looked it up. It was released 8 years ago. And it's aged like fine wine. It's a riveting TED talk for your benefit where he's talking mostly just about himself. And unlike previously, where we just heard he goes no contact with his whole family, in this TED talk, he talks about how he's got a relationship with his father they made up. Apparently, he changed his mind, I guess. But I found the most important part of this TED talk was when he said he's a queer. Now, that was 8 years ago. Now he is not. He identifies as trans. Not queer. He was living the truth of who he was back when he filmed this. He was a queer. And it turns out the truth of who he is, I guess that just changed. Turns out he's actually trans. No correlation to that's just now super trendy, way more trendy than just being a queer. Like, who cares? So either the truth of who he is changed, or he was wrong and potentially still wrong about his impeccable self-awareness that he's gotten from 25 years of Zen Buddhism. And I have never seen a more Zen Buddhist person than him. Let's take a look at him taking the stage. We'll get back to the video in just a second, but first, if you're trying to lose fat and get leaner and or build muscle, this one's for you. So if you're like me, where you're lifting weights, you're getting your cardio in, you're eating clean, you're counting your macros, but you're still not seeing the fitness results you want, the reason why might surprise you. It most likely has to do with what's called your metabolic flexibility. I've been using the Lumen for the past few weeks to better understand how the food I eat fits into the bigger picture of how my body shifts from burning carbs or fat for energy. Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. With just one breath in the morning, it can measure your metabolism. It lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs for energy and gives you tailored recommendations for your nutrition, your workouts, your stress management, and sleep. Let me show you how quick and easy it is.
Inhale deeply through your lumen. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
So it lets me know right now, based on the current state of my metabolism, I'm burning mostly fat, 65% fat, 35% burning carbs for energy. And it lets me know based on my current metabolism and my health and fitness goals, today is a low carb day, aiming for 210 grams of carbohydrates, 175 grams of protein, and 135 grams of fat. That's what my body currently needs to function at its best. How else am I going to know that? If I scroll down, it even gives me very specific recommendations on breakfast options, lunch options, snack options, dinner options that are based on my body's current metabolic needs. Take the frustration out of doing the wrong thing and guessing and start tuning into your body with Lumen. Go to the link below or go to lumen.com/JPReacts. And at that link, you get 15% off your Lumen. That's lumen.com/JPReacts. Your metabolism will thank you for it. Now back to the video. Look at those heels. Amazing. Awkward pause.
A few years ago,
Canned speech.
my father apologized for my childhood.
I like that. A few years ago, his father called him up, apologized, just yada, yada, yada. It takes a couple minutes for him to just, yeah, his father apologized. Then cut to the more recent clip. Cut your family off. I have no contact with my parents, my siblings, my cousins, my dead grandparents, nobody. So apparently his father's apology wasn't good enough for him back then. Now let's fast forward to a very intellectually stimulating aspect of the talk.
Did the cameras get the shoes? Get a close-up? They're Manolos. If you did not, yeah. If you didn't notice, my thing is being queer.
Yeah, you make everything about you that. we noticed. But we also noticed now you call yourself trans, you used to be queer. Truth of who you are changes all the time, I guess. Or you just interpret it wildly inaccurately. I don't know. And the TED Talk is born, it goes on, it ends. And this guy has what he wants. He's seen as an authority, being in a position of power on stage, which seems to be what's most important to him. Now, in this video compilation of him, there's some weird behavior, but we'll also see outlined grooming behavior, cult leader behavior. If you ever want to start a cult, there is just a step-by-step practice. You need to isolate people from their family, or else they're going to be too protected to be jeopardized by your predatory nature. Then you have to make them see you as their higher power. You have to make them feel so loved and valued by them. You have to have secrets with them. So this is an excellent compilation of just his stuff. And then outlined with, here's the next step in cult grooming behavior. And then he just does all that. Let's take a look.
Hi, kids. Hey, kids.
I don't go after children. You literally only talk to children. 5 warning signs of a child groomer. Victim selection. Abusers often observe possible victims and select them based on ease of access to them or their perceived vulnerability. Ugh.
So you were told repeatedly over years that you're trash, that you're worthless. I am so sorry that you grew up in a household that was chaotic. You don't deserve to feel bad all the time. There are 3 ways to know when your help is slighted. Here are 3 reasons that you are a good person. Here are 3 ways that you can enjoy your childhood trauma.
Gaining access and isolating the victim. Abusers will attempt to physically or emotionally separate a victim from those protecting them and often seek out positions in which they have contact with minors. Well, this person's TikTok account offers just a little bit of contact with 600,000 subscribers.
I want to talk to the kids. Your parents made mistakes. You can't blame the parents.
And part of this, as you can clearly see, this isn't therapy for people who come from abusive homes. This is engineered to get kids to see their parents as bad. So if you don't have abusive parents, don't you worry about that. I'm going to teach you that your parents were abusive. Doesn't matter that they weren't. First step in isolation.
Of course I can. I'm just concerned about the children. Should I go no contact with them? I will tell you about going no contact. Don't worry about being in parents' feelings. If you have toxic parents will always make it about them. Your parents rushed you. Your parents screwed up. Families like to keep the roles the same. Here's your way out. If you do not have a family that loves you, I'm going to be your family.
Trust development and keeping secrets. Abusers attempt to gain trust of potential victim through gifts, attention, sharing secrets, and other means to make them feel they have a caring relationship and to train them to keep the relationship a secret.
You are safe. I really do love you.
We're building
I'm not
trust.
playing a character here. I see the real you. I know you. People always say, Jeffrey, it feels like you're talking right to me. And that's because I am. I hope you got the message by now that you are worth something. I know that you're worth something. I just think about you a lot. You can ask me anything. That's why I made Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy. And if you want to hear from me on a personal level, just let me know. And I didn't know these private videos would be some of the most fulfilling work that you do.
Desensitization to touch and discussion of sexual topics. Abusers will often start to touch a victim in ways that appear harmless, such as hugging, wrestling, and tickling, and later escalate to increasingly more sexual contact, such as massage or shower together. Part of the Biden family now. Abusers may also show the victim or discuss sexual topics with them to introduce the idea of sexual contact. I'm sure this person doesn't do that.
There's no such thing as a boy or girl. It's good for children to see LGBTQ rights and LGBTQ people. Biological sex is safe. Here are 3 reasons why sex is difficult.
Attempt by abusers to make their behavior seem natural to avoid raising suspicions. For teens who may be closer in age to the abuser, it can be particularly hard to recognize tactics used in grooming. Be alert for signs that your teen has a relationship with an adult that includes secrecy, undue influence or control, or push personal boundaries. Yeah, and protect your kids from just that.
People want what I have. It's okay to feel all of your complicated feelings. There's a causation between false stories in media.
Please pay attention to who speaks to your children on the internet. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy only speaks to children on the internet. And while he gave a rather riveting TEDx talk, great platform for him, TikTok's another great platform for him. Creepy behavior needs to be called out. And this person, whether he's doing it intentionally or it just happens to come in this way, it is the exact step-by-step playbook of grooming behavior. And he wants you to celebrate him. Let me know what you think about all that in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you on our next video. But until then, protect your children.